Hello and welcome to Omnis Technologies. My name is Ryan and today I'm going to give you an overview on Google Meet. So let's jump right into it. So this is the Google Meet homepage. It's meet.google.com and we can see that we can join or start a new meeting, and we also can see our scheduled meetings here. So I'll go ahead and show you how you can start a new meeting. So this is an optional nickname option. I'll cover this in a little bit, but for now we're just going to click continue. And then just a minute, let me switch my camera over. So now I have my webcam going into Google Meet, as we can see here. Before we enter a meeting, we have this chance to kind of preview our settings and make sure everything's working okay. We can see that my audio levels are coming in. This is our mute or camera on or off, depending on how you want to join the meeting. Maybe you want to mute your mic as you go in, so you're not going to cause any pops or loud noises when you first get into the meeting. Same with your camera. If you need to fine tune your settings, you can go here to switch your audio settings or video settings. Mine are good. I also want to touch on this meeting ready section over here. We have our meeting link, the dial-in and the PIN for your participants who are calling in on phone. This option is only available if you're using the Google Meet version with an account tied to a G Suite, like paid account for businesses. And I also want to touch on the option here, which is unique to Google Meet, is for something like Zoom, you have to dial in like this, where you'll dial in the number it gives you, enter the PIN and push pound. It takes a while, it adds more time to get into the meeting, but with Google Meet, you can type in your phone number and Google will send you a call where you can pick up, tap one, and then you'll be connected by phone in the meeting. So that's pretty handy. So I'll go ahead and join the meeting. It's going to remind you about our meeting link and dial-in information. We can copy this and send it to our participants, or we can add people like this, where it'll go through our Gmail contacts and be able to do it like that, or we can add people's phone numbers. So now we're in our meeting, and this is what the general interface looks like. We can see in the lower left here, we can pull up our meeting details again, and then I want to note this attachments tab. We'll come back to that later on. Here's our standard mute and camera controls. This is where we can leave the call. Another unique feature here I want to draw the attention to is the captions mode, and we can turn that on and you can see that it's going to automatically start adding captions to everything I'm saying. This is really handy for accessibility reasons, or maybe you have participants who might like subtitles when they watch video things, and this kind of functions like that. If they retain information like this so they can read it, I think that's pretty cool, and you can see that it tracks really nicely. It'd be nice if Google would let us export these as transcripts so we could have a file of records of our meetings. That functionality isn't there, and I'm not sure if they're ever going to add it. But I'll turn that off now, and we can go into present mode. This is similar to a screen sharing mode. We have our options to share our entire screen, just a window, or a Chrome tab. I think I recommend the Chrome tab version, so you have to make sure that you're using Chrome in your meetings, which I'll point out that this, unlike Zoom, is all based in the web browser. It's not like Zoom where you have to have that app installed. So now I want to direct your attention to the Present tab. And I think for most cases, you're going to want to just do a Chrome tab. I think that's going to work the best and give you still the functionality where you don't have to worry about your participants seeing everything you're doing on your screen. And I'm going to share our YouTube channel page. And now this is going to kind of cover up my window, and I can see there's a slight blue border around that's showing me that I'm sharing this tab. But what's nice about Google Meet is that if I go back to the meeting window, it says I'm presenting, but I can actually go up to the top right and click on this presentation view, and I'll be able to see what my participants are seeing. So this helps a lot when I'm sharing my screen in Zoom. I wish I could see what my participants were seeing, because a lot of times between my monitors and my windows, I'm not really sure what I'm sharing. So this would help me a lot. And so we can see if I click back into this tab and I just play video here, I go back to our meetings tab, and I can see that that video is playing for everybody. So that's nice functionality, and I can just stop presenting now. And if I go up to the top right where we were, we can open the chat, we can open our participants, see who's in our meeting. And finally, we have our layout options here. If we click on these three dots in the lower right, we can change our layout. And there's a few options here. Sidebar, spotlight, where it'll bring up focus on whoever's speaking, or tiled. So in tiled, you'll see up to 16 participants on the screen at once. If you have a meeting with more than 16 participants, there is an extension called full grid, where it will show everybody in the meeting on the screen. So that's pretty much the walkthrough for the interface. Next, I'm going to hop into Google Calendar and Gmail and show you how you can set up these meetings. Okay, so we're back in my calendar here, Google Calendar. And to create a meeting where people can join on video, we can just go up to create an event. We'll type this in, let's say meeting 2. We can add guests, set the time, but we want to click video conferencing, add video conferencing with our Google Meet logo there. And that's going to automatically give us a join link and dial-in information. But we're going to go to more options to show you another feature here where we can add attachments. So if we click on our paperclip here, it'll bring up this Google Drive search window. We can just attach my agenda here. And this looks good, so I'll click save. And now that's going to add this event to my calendar. So when the time comes to join, I can just click on that, join with Google Meet. And it's going to open up our preview screen here. My camera's not going to work because I'm recording it down here, but that's okay for this demonstration. I'll go to join now. And I'll take a second to show you that even if your camera isn't on or disabled, you're still going to have these audio pulses, which is some nice feedback, and you can still see that you're engaged there. And I'll also show you down here, if we click on the meetings tab and go to attachments, that our agenda has been linked there, so you can direct all your participants to go into this attachment section and they can open the agenda for themselves. And that's very handy. Alright, so next I'll switch over to Gmail. Okay, so we're in Gmail now, and we can see on the left column that we have these Google Meet options where we can start a meeting, and that's going to open a new window where we're in our preview thing here, where we have our dial-in and link information for our other participants. Or we can join a meeting that's already scheduled if we just put in this code that you'll get from a calendar invite or from the invitation in your inbox. This is also where you can type in a nickname. If back when we had our Google Meet scheduler, you could enter a nickname. This is where you could type that in, as long as all your participants are in the same Gmail account. So that's an overview on Google Meet. Some of the standout features for me are the options to have Google call your cell phone to connect phone audio. The option to turn on closed captions is pretty nice. And the option to be able to see what you're sharing just as you're like a participant, and not just clicking share and then having it open in a different window where I wasn't sure what it is. It's nice to see exactly what I'm showing to my participants. So if you have any more questions about Google Meet or any IT related things, just reach out at techsupport@omnistech.com and we'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching.